Hey Jerome. So this is about the Zlob SVFs, and here are the faceplates to choose from. This was the one I was planning on sending you. This is the standard new edition black and white, and then this is it only reversed with white knobs, so it's just the same panel just flipped. And then this is the old school red and black one, black knobs. Anyway, any of those are fine. And then explain a couple things. There's a cool little ping patch going on in the background that I'll go through in a sec. I didn't come up with it, just a little riff on it. So what's going on here is I'm using your SVF or two SVFs, and it's pretty much the same patch. We're using a clock, just a pulse wave from a Dixie, which is over here, and that is this yellow cable for clock, and of course move that over here, and those are both going into what's called the ping input. Now if you take that jumper off for ping, then this is no longer pingable, and then this input and this input are the same. They respond the same, so you just have two inputs. But right now this one's pingable. Anyway, so we're pinging it with this clock, and we also have to ping this entropy module, the sample and hold. It's got a track and hold and a sample and hold. It's in track and hold right now, right? So we're clocking that with that same Dixie. That's what this red one is. So I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. Okay. Clock, clock, clock. All right? Okay, pulse wave. And then out of the sample and hold, we're going into the envelope in, which is attenuated right here. So you can attenuate that envelope in, and that's this orange and this blue. Right? And that is the sample and hold out. That's going into the envelope in. And then finally, entropy out is gone over into the Dixie 1 volt per octave. And so the entropy out is it's a random CV, and that's how we're getting these random gates, because it's speeding up and slowing down the Dixie. It's in LFO mode, if I mention it. All right. Hey, little note about these Entropy and the Entropy Expander. These are 2 3HP modules. Interesting. You got track and hold, sample and hold up here. You got 3 flavors of noise in the Entropy. It's white, pink, and brown. And then down here you got this thing called the infra, which is a random CV out that goes from slow to really slow. That switches. And then the expander adds a slewed or a glide out to the sample and hold. And it's here. And then it's also got random gates out, which can be sped up into audio rate or just use it for random gates. It's got 2 more flavors of noise, blue and violet. And then it's got entropy out, which is a combination of the infra out and the sample and hold. And currently we have it gliding. You can jumper that out, but anyway, this controls the glide. So it's slewing or gliding. And I don't know if you can see the LED switching, but there's a comparator here, and it basically switches between infra and the sample and hold, depending on what the gate is doing. So when the gate is low, it goes over here. When the gate is high, it goes over there. When the gate is high, it's the sample or track and hold. When the gate is low, it is the infra out. I don't know if that made any sense. Whatever. Anyway, that's just goofy patch. Fun. So, yeah, here it is. Low pass out. About 9 o'clock. Turn that off. noon. Three o'clock. Let's try that at, oh, so interesting about self-oscillation. If you open the cutoff all the way, sometimes, depending on the power supply of the case, that won't go into self-oscillation. So a more reliable way of getting it to self-oscillate, if you're having trouble, if that doesn't work on yours, is to have this closed, put resonance fully up, and then you can get a self-oscillation. All right. There's high pass, res. And let's try band pass. So you see that that works. And jumpers. So there are 3 jumpers on here. The bottom jumper, the one that's in red, it's on a 2-pin, and right now it's not doing anything. It's not jumpered. It's just sitting on 1 pin. It doesn't matter which pin. And if you wanted it to have lower resonance, more civil behavior, you would actually put that jumper on, so it would be going up and down, right, on this pin and that pin. I have it off because I like the gnarly resonance. And then this is a 3-pin jumper, and it's currently in the bottom position, which is for self-oscillation. If you move it to the top 2 pins, that takes away the self-oscillation. And then finally, this one is over here. When it's in the top 2, on the top 2 pins, it means it's pingable, and if you move it down here, it's no longer pingable, and that is for this input here, labeled PNG. It just becomes a clone of this input, as far as they would operate the same if you have it in the bottom position. So you could have 2 inputs that would just act that way, but now it's pingable. I don't know, I think that's about all you need to know on it. And just tell me what color you want. And yeah. Fun times. Random gates. Give me some gates. Resonance, we should be able to get it to just go awful. Come on, give me some gates. I need a gate, we need a gate. Go, go, go.